Prabhupada. Translation. He was such a great emperor that all his enemies would come and bow down at his feet and surrender all their wealth for their own benefit. He was full of youth and strength, and he possessed kingly opulences that were difficult to give up. Why did he want to give up everything, including his life? Purport. There was nothing undesirable in his life. He was a quiet young man and could enjoy life with power and opulence. So there was no question of retiring from active life. There was no difficulty in collecting the state taxes because he was so powerful and chivalrous that even his enemies would come to him and bow down at his feet and surrender all wealth for their own benefit. Maharaja Parikshit was a pious king. He conquered his enemies, and therefore the kingdom was full of prosperity. There was enough milk, grains and metals, and all the rivers and mountains were full of potency. So materially everything was satisfactory. Therefore there was no question of untimely giving up his kingdom and life. The sages were eager to hear about all this. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarani. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Namanti yat pada niketam atmanah Shivaya haniya dhanani shatravaha Katam savira shriyam anga dushyajam Yuvaishatod shrastum aho sahasubihi. Translation again. He was such a great emperor that all his enemies would come and bow down at his feet and surrender all their wealth for their own benefit. He was full of youth and strength, and he possessed kingly opulences that were difficult to give up. Why did he want to give up everything, including his life? Hare Krishna. So here in the translation it is mentioned that he was such a great emperor that all his enemies would come and bow down at his feet and surrender all their wealth for their own benefit. So here in the sequence of these verses we are seeing about Parikshit Maharaj, and in this verse this is one of the quality of Parikshit Maharaj. He was such a great emperor and all other kings were subordinate to him. So that is the meaning of emperor. King is ruling a particular area, but emperor is master of all kings who are ruling. So emperor means generally the king of Hastinapur is considered as emperor. So he is controlling the entire world. So he is an emperor. So Maharaj Parikshit had he was a great emperor, and all the kings were surrendered to him. They gave all his wealth and they bowed down at his feet and they were surrendered. And he was such a great person. And here the sages, they were kind of little confused. He had everything, but why he gave up everything, and why he is asking why did he want to give up everything, including his life? Why did he do that? The sages were asking to Suta Goswami. So here one very important word is they surrendered all their wealth for their own benefit. So the kings, they know that if we surrender to the emperor, then it is good for us. Generally, like if you see the government rules also, the government law and order is there. So if we follow the law and order, it is good for us. So it is not that a king, he says, no, I am the emperor, you have to follow me. It is not out of false ego. It is. So if we follow the law and order, it is good for us. So the kings, they surrendered to the emperor, Maharaja Parikshit, for their own benefit. So even Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. Ham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma sucha. So abandon all varieties of religion and surrender unto me only. So I will deliver you from all sinful reaction. Do not fear. So once we were in book distribution, one person was asking, why I read Bhagavad Gita, why always everywhere Krishna is saying me, why always he's saying like this? So here we see, Mam ekam sharanam vraja. Krishna says, Bhaktya mam abhijanati, mam anusmara yudhyacha. Think of me and do fight. And many places Krishna says that mam, me, only me, ananya shintayanto mam ejana paryupasate. Don't think only me. Then avyabhicharena bhakti, only bhakti to me. So why Krishna is emphasizing on only me? Then he is thinking that this is Krishna is doing out of ego. So everyone should surrender to me. It is not out of ego. So because Krishna is known as Ashraya Tattva. Ashraya Tattva in the sense, Krishna is the one who everyone can take shelter of. So that is the original position. And our position is to surrender to Krishna. So that is our position. Jivera Swarupa Hoy Krishnera Nityadas. So that is our natural position, to surrender to Krishna. So, it is not out of false ego or. No. So Krishna says, you surrender to me and I will deliver you from all sinful reaction. Krishna says. So but still we are hesitating to surrender. So that is out of our false ego. We are not ready to surrender. We are hesitating to surrender. No. So the person who asked why Krishna is saying everywhere me. So that is out of his false ego, not Krishna's false ego. So we are hesitating to surrender out of our false ego. We are thinking that we are the controller. I can enjoy independently of Krishna. So because of this false ego, we are not ready to surrender. We are hesitating to surrender. So there are different levels of yoga. We say yoga ladder. Karma yoga, jnana yoga, hatha yoga, bhakti yoga. There are different levels are there. The bhakti yoga is the topmost. Krishna says, yoginam api sarvesham madgatena antaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yo mam samayukta tamo matha. So among all the yogis, bhakti yogi is the topmost. So there are different yogas. Bhakti yoga is the ultimate. One should come to bhakti yoga at the end. So even someone is doing karma yoga, jnana yoga, so he will not attain that ultimate goal, the ultimate perfection he will not get. Only by bhakti we can come to the ultimate goal of life. So even when we practice bhakti, we do, it is not pure devotion, unalloyed devotion. Initially when we start bhakti, it is not so pure. So it is like a karma mishra bhakti, jnana mishra bhakti. So we do our activity for the pleasure of Lord. So we cook, we do many things. We do engage in this. It is not that we are karma yogis. It is not like this. It is a path to bhakti. That's why it is called yoga ladder. So ultimately one should reach the pure unalloyed devotion to the Lord. A pure devotion in the sense completely surrender to the Lord. But we address someone as karma yogi or jnana yogi means if someone stick to that particular process, then we call them as Jnana Yogi or Bhakti Yogi or Karma Yogi. Like for example, someone thinks that only the mental speculation, only this only I'll come to the ultimate perfection. If someone is stick to that particular process, then we address them as a Jnana Yogi. If someone is thinking that karma, I have to do my duty and give result to Krishna, so then he is addressed as Karma Yogi. But a devotee who is on the path, he is Bhakti Yogi, but he didn't come to that that ultimate level, but he is on the path, so he is known as Bhakti Yogi, even though he is not at that level. So Krishna is a Ashraya Tattva. Krishna is the one who everyone can take shelter of, surrender to the Lord. That is Bhakti. Bhakti means there are three things: Bhagavan, Bhakta, and Bhakti. The Bhakti is the process through which we can attain Bhagavan. So what is Bhakti? Means surrender. Prapaddi, they say in Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya. So that is, Bhakti is surrender. Ultimately Krishna, the conclusion he is giving is, whatever I told in the previously, you forget about everything, you surrender to me, I will deliver you. So that is the conclusion of all instruction Krishna gave in Bhagavad Gita. So but people who are in some other paths like Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, they cannot come to this level until they take up Bhakti, until they surrender to Krishna. In Brahma Samhita it is mentioned that Pantastu Koti Shatavatsara Sampragamyo Vayo Ratapi Manaso Muni Pungavana. Pantastu Koti Shatavatsara. Panta means the path. The Muni Pungavanam means the foremost amongst the Jnanis. The Jnanis, they follow this path for Koti Shatavatsara. Koti Shatavatsara means thousands of millions of years. They follow this path, but still what they attain is toe of Krishna's lotus feet. After thousands of millions of years of their practice. That's why in Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Klesho adhikatarastesham avyakta sakta chetsasam. So this path is very difficult path. Klesho adhikatarastesham avyakta hi gadardugam dehavad biravarpate. So after doing all this very difficult process, severe austerities and everything, they come to me at last, Krishna is saying. So here it is mentioned that Koti Shatavatsara, after going through thousands of millions of years, still they cannot come to the lotus feet of the Lord. After so a lot of austerity, they come to just the toe of Krishna's lotus feet, it is mentioned. So to that Govinda I offer my obeisances. Govinda Madi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So it is not through mental speculation. They say this neti, not this. This process doesn't work. This is material. This doesn't work. So we have to surrender to the Lord. Only by surrendering to the Lord, only by bhakti, we can come to the highest perfection of life. Because our mental speculation, if we do, our mind, intelligence, everything is covered by Maya. So with this contaminated intelligence, if we speculate, we won't be able to come to the perfection. So we have to purify our mind and intelligence by practicing bhakti, by engaging in devotional service of the Lord. So with the purified mind, we can come to the ultimate perfection. So that's why when we engage in the service of the Lord, Krishna says, Dadami buddhi yogam tam yenamam apiyantite. So I will give you the proper intelligence so that you can understand me. It is not by our endeavor, it is not by our speculation. It is not ascending process, it is descending process. So when we surrender to the Lord, submissively we do service the Lord, serving the Lord. So then we can attain that purified intelligence. With that purified intelligence, we can understand the Lord. So this is about karmis and jnanis. Out of mental speculation, they are trying to understand Krishna by speculation. It is not possible. But when we see the case of devotees, the bhaktas, of course they are hesitating to surrender. The jnanis and karmis though there is no concept of surrender. Even recently also Maharaj says in one lecture that the philosophers, they study a lot and they do research and they do even research about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but they never surrender to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because if they surrender, then what will happen to their prestige? We are philosophers, we will not surrender. So of course they will not surrender. But when we speak about devotees, they practice bhakti, but still the 100% surrender is somewhat difficult, we feel. Because Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, he gives one analogy for this. Because whoever is practicing bhakti, they go through this stage. So we think that I am a devotee, I am surrendered. We think like this, but actually we are not surrendered. So he gives one analogy that the Putana demon. He says this Maya as a Putana demon, he says. As we know, this Leela, Putana came to kill Krishna, Kamsa sent. When Putana came to Vrindavan, she came as a bird first. He came to Vrindavan and she was sitting on a tree and looking at Krishna's house, and she was thinking that now how can I enter, what is the best way to enter there, she was thinking. And she was also thinking that okay, she came from some different place to this demon, then the Leela will get interrupted. So, but that is different point. Here the point is, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says that is a demon. So in that way, devotees, we practice and we think that we are practicing, we want to be like this. So that lagging is. So when we 100% surrender to Krishna, then Maya will open the gateway. Then we can go back. Till that time, we cannot go back to Krishna. As we discussed, good birth, Janma Aishwarya, if someone has so much wealth, and Shruta, she was mentioning, it is not what we study, like this university education, it is Bhaktyama Vijjanati. Krishna himself says that. So the bhakti means we have to surrender to the Lord. He's saying, Vedeshu Durlabam Adurlabam Atma Bhaktav. Here, Vedeshu Durlabam. If someone studied Vedas, still he won't be able to understand. And Adurlabam Atma Bhaktav. Adurlabam means it's very easy for the Atma Bhaktav. So who are these Atma Bhaktav? Means who are surrendered to Krishna. Atma Bhaktav means the Atma Samarpan, we say. So one who has given one's self to Krishna. Nothing is mine, all Krishna's interest. When someone gives himself to Krishna, when someone gives full surrender to Krishna, then we can understand Krishna. Otherwise it is not possible. Vedeshu Durlabam Adurlabam Atma Bhaktav. So with our Prabhupada says it is a fertile brain. This our fertile intelligence, we cannot understand Krishna. So our materialistic intelligence gives lot of excuses not to surrender to Krishna. So many times we philosophize our not surrendering to Krishna. Like, I'm not doing like this, I'm doing it for Krishna, but still like this. So that our intelligence is still contaminated. We have to purify our intelligence by engaging in the devotional service of the Lord. So till that time we won't be able to understand. With our materialistic intelligence, it gives lot of excuses. In Mukundamala Stotra, Kulashekar Alvar, he says that moha alai, he says. In Tamil, alai means waves. In the ocean, waves comes. We cannot count the waves. So in that way, he's saying moha alai. A conditioned person, that moha alai will be there. The waves of illusion. Like a waves, continuously our materialistic mind and intelligence shows that, okay, you are correct. There is no problem. You are surrendered. And we postponed our surrender. Okay, now I'm okay, but not now, later, like this. So it is not that in bhakti we do what I want for Krishna. It is not like this. What Krishna wants, we do for Krishna. So we think that it is something better. Krishna is asking, you give me water and we give milk, and we think that, okay, I am doing something better. But actually what is required is whatever Krishna says, you just follow. That is what required. And we think that, no, I want to give this, I want to do like this, I want to be like this. So then this 100% surrender is not there. Always our interest is there. Our interest is in the front, not Krishna's interest. So in that way, this Putana demon, it shows that we are in Maya, but we won't be able to recognize that we are in Maya. So generally surrender means it is not a materialistic surrender. Like, for example, we work in a company and an employee is going to the boss that I am now fully surrendered to you, I am 100% surrendered to you. And immediately what boss will think, okay, he is a scapegoat, I can do whatever I want with him. Then he starts to exploit the employee. And this spiritual surrender is not like this. Because we are, our intelligence is materialistic, it is not purified. We think that surrender means it is this. If I surrender, then I will be exploited. So we always have this fear. That's why we are not able to surrender fully. So we should have the faith in Krishna, in Guru, that whatever they say, it is for our benefit. It is for our own benefit. By surrendering to Krishna, we will progress in bhakti. Ultimately, we can go back to Krishna. By listening to them, we will come to the ultimate perfection. It is for our own benefit. So the devotees, Vaishnavas, Gurus, they are completely free from lust, anger, greed, all these contamination, material contaminations. They are pure. And whatever they give, whatever they say, it is all for our benefit. It is all to elevate us in bhakti. So we should have that faith that it is for our own benefit. So then only we can surrender to Krishna. We should have that faith. So because of that lack of faith, we are not able to surrender fully. Still we keep holding ourselves. Like when Draupadi was in a difficult situation, Vastraharan was happening. So it is explained that she was holding in one hand his sari and she was calling Govinda, Govinda like that. So at that time Krishna was very near, but he didn't come, because still you are holding with one hand your sari. You didn't have the full faith that Krishna will save. So when it was very difficult situation, she just raised both her hand and she was calling. Then immediately Krishna came and saved. So till we hold something that this is mine, okay, if I leave this, then I won't be able to, we always want to be in our comfort zone. So then still that time we won't be able to fully surrender, and till we fully surrender, then Krishna won't reciprocate fully. So Krishna says, Ye tamam prapadyante tam sateva bhajamiham. So how much you surrender, that much I will reciprocate. So in that way, it is not same as materialistic surrender. Nobody will exploit. Vaishnavas are very merciful, and they are our real well-wishers. So we should have that faith, then we will be able to surrender. And surrender in the sense, Krishna is saying, you surrender unto me, but we cannot directly surrender to Krishna. We are not that qualified like Arjuna. Directly we surrender to Krishna. So Krishna's representatives are their Guru. And Guru, we see in our society, it's very big. Guru, like sometimes Guru is in US, Dubai. We cannot directly approach Guru also to surrender. So there are representatives of Guru. So we have to surrender to them. So in that way we can fully surrender to Krishna. So like Prabhupada gives one example that in the forest we find many wood. So many wood is there. So in that wood we can collect those wood and we can use it for burning, for cooking, for so many things. We can use that wood. But someone finds a sandalwood, and the sandalwood also he is collecting for burning and cooking, then he is not intelligent. So like this, there are so many bodies are there. Animal body, bird's body, beast body. But the human body is something special, like sandalwood. The sandalwood we cannot use for burning. That is used for some higher purpose. So like human body is not ordinary body like animal's body and bird's body. This is something higher. So in this human body only we can surrender to the Lord. We can get this higher purpose of life, achieve this higher purpose of life. So this human form of life we cannot waste like animal life. So as we discussed, karmis and gyanis, they won't surrender to Lord, but bhaktas, devotees, and we theoretically know actually. Theoretically we know that we have to surrender to Lord and we should not have our personal interest and everything. But it is all a theoretical knowledge. When it comes to practical, we are hesitating to surrender. Like theoretical knowledge is there. Like for example, yesterday I was thinking, when I was typing, we have to surrender to the Lord, Krishna, Supreme Lord. So when I type we, then automatically it is coming R, like it is suggesting we have to surrender. If I type, then automatically it is coming to Krishna. So even this tab knows that we have to surrender to Krishna. It is showing it is a theoretical knowledge. Even when I am sleeping, you wake up and tell me this verse, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. We can tell the verse. It's a theoretical knowledge, but when it comes to practical, it is very difficult. We are hesitating to surrender fully. So that is the purpose of life. So as soon as we understand that this human form of life is meant for this surrender, then immediately we should do that. So it is said, Labdva Sudurlabhamidam Bahu Sambhavante Manusham Janmam Anityam Apihadira. So this is human form of life we got. It is not like ordinary forest wood, it is sandalwood. So in this form, we can surrender to the Lord. So that is the ultimate perfection of life. Like we discuss the karmis and jnanis. For them, there is no concept of surrender. Said karmis, those they say it is impossible to surrender. But devotees, what they do is, we know that we have to surrender to Lord, but not now. Now, later, postpone, like this. So here the point is, karmis they won't surrender, and devotees they postpone surrender. Actually, both are same. In a way, both are same. We are postponing surrender in the sense we are not surrendering, and karmis also they are saying it is impossible to surrender. It is actually the same. So when we take up bhakti, we have to be serious, and we have to find out our anarthas, that where we are lagging, and that is the purpose of following the sadhana, practice, everything. So recently we were hearing lecture. Maharaj was saying that he was speaking about deviation and controversy, all these. So then one devotee commented that no, but people are not at that level. People are in different levels. Even if someone is deviation, if someone is practicing chanting and following, so he can come like this. So then Maharaj was making one point that now at some point we should come to the next level. Now see who can do this? One who is really want to go back to Krishna. If someone really wants to go back to Krishna, so he takes this step. So even though people are not at that level, but still he has that that crave. It is said that greed is there, laulyam. I have to go back to Krishna in this life. So when you have that greed, then he does this. Otherwise, we cannot do this. We can say that no, people are at that different level according to that. But still, if someone wants to go back to Krishna, he has to do it. He has to take the next step. So in that way, it is said Turnam. Turnam means immediately. So we got this. It is said before the next death comes, we have to surrender to the Lord. We have to perfect our life. Next death, in the sense we have gone through many deaths, millions of body we have taken, millions of deaths we have gone through, millions of human bodies we have enjoyed in human bodies, we have enjoyed in hog's body, we have enjoyed sex in hog's body, monkey's body, in pigeon's body. But still now we got the knowledge that we have to surrender to the Lord, and Turnam, immediately we have to take it up. We should not postpone. And if we postpone, then we are also, it's as good as karmis do. They say it is impossible and we are postponing. It is as good as not surrendering to Krishna. So instead of holding something in, so Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that when someone surrenders to Krishna, all four directions he will get happiness. We think that when we surrender, then we will not have our independence, we will not have our freedom, then how can I be happy? We think like this, but it is not actually like this. When we surrender to the Lord, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that from all four directions we get happiness. So that is the real happiness we get by surrendering to the Lord. So here in this verse, all the kings, they surrender for their own benefit. So here from this we can understand, by surrendering to Lord, by surrendering to Guru, it is for our own benefit. So we progress in bhakti, we elevate ourselves in the association of Krishna, we go back to Krishna, we serve in the association of Krishna. So that is the ultimate benefit. So surrendering to Krishna, it is for our own benefit. Hare Krishna. Any questions, comments?
Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada said Maya is like a demon, but that is Krishna's external potential. How we go to take that point as demon and Krishna's energy? This point, how we go to see that means outsiders, the Maya means Krishna's energy only. Maya is testing us how much we are surrendered to Krishna. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati said, Maya is like a demon. In that point, how we going to see?
No, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he gave this analogy to show that we don't recognize this. When Putana came to Krishna's house, nobody could recognize that she is a demon. She was looking like a very beautiful heavenly woman, and everyone was allowing her, you please come, you see the baby. And she took Krishna and she fed her milk. So everyone was thinking that she is some very great personality came to see Krishna. They were thinking like that, but actually she was a demon. So now when we are in Maya, we won't be able to recognize that Maya. We are thinking that we are okay. So that thinking, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is comparing with this Putana demon. But Maya is an agent of Krishna. Maya is, she has nothing to do with us, like purposefully stopping us going back to Krishna. It is not her purpose. Here Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, she is not saying Maya as demon. He is saying this mentality as demon. Thinking that I am okay, I am not in Maya, that thinking mentality is considered as Putana demon. Otherwise Maya is a very obedient and surrendered servant of Krishna. She is testing us. If we pass this test, Maya will be very happy to send us back to Krishna. Maya doesn't have any other purpose. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.